I have never met your narcissist, but I think I can describe the narcissist that is bothering you to a T. I've got 10 points, 10-point description of the narcissist, and listen along and tell me how many of these 10 adequately describe your narcissist. I'm guessing. Just guessing. I've never met your narcissist. I have no idea who they are, but I'm guessing probably 8, maybe 9 out of these 10, maybe all of them, will match your narcissist again to a T. Now, how do I do this? How is it conceivably possible? Am I a mind reader? No, I'm just an observer, 70 years old. I've been doing this for decades. My name is Ken, and the reason I do this is because, well, I've gone through it, and I know how much it hurts and how much it confuses your life because I've been exactly where you are. So here we are now. Let me ask you these 10 things. Do these describe your narcissist? Number 1, you got to ask yourself, why is it that your narcissist has so many people that we would consider supply? Now, supply, we simply mean that somebody that the narcissist uses, takes advantage of, to boost or elevate their ego. Now, in hindsight, you didn't know it at the beginning. When they were grooming you, you didn't know what the narcissist was all about. Now, it's too late, you already know. Too late to do anything, well, not too late to do anything about it, but too late to go back in time and stop it at the very beginning, obviously. But now that you're watching this person, you're observing that they have all these different people that they are taking advantage of. It's not just you, it's many people. If you have looked into your narcissist background, chances are you would find that he or she has a slew of individuals that they have scammed, taken advantage of, maybe through a romance, maybe through a friendship, maybe through a business partnership, maybe through the workplace, whatever. But they've got a lot of people. It's not just you. So does that describe your narcissist? Description number 2 is they're always on the telephone. They're always texting. They're always talking to somebody. I mean, these people, they come across, as charismatic, and nothing wrong with being charismatic. I wish I were charismatic. Wish I had that knack, that ability to communicate to people just by virtue of my presence. Unfortunately, that's not the way it is, but with your narcissist, this is somebody that others just seem attracted to. They seem to really like this person. Is that your narcissist? Does that adequately describe him or her? Always on the phone, always texting people. Now, I got to confess that I made a really stupid mistake. I'm trying to think of a better way to phrase it other than stupid, but okay, naive, gullible, but sounds better, but it was just downright stupid. I had this good friend, and because he was down and out on his luck, I thought I'd help him out. Because I knew this guy loved to talk on the telephone. I didn't know he was a narcissist. I thought he was just a good friend who was down on his luck. So what did I do? I bought him a cell phone. Not only did I buy him a phone, but I paid for his telephone service. How stupid can you be? I mean, I was giving my narcissist the very fuel he needed to burn me. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. But the point is, narcissists love to talk. They love to text. They love to communicate to other people. They've got this, typically have a broad circle of friends, and man, do they play the crowd. Number 3 is this. They tend rather to move from relationship to relationship. So, again, they have this circle of friends. They have a lot of people that admire them, maybe, or at least befriend them. And they may be your friend for a while. Sometimes this lasts for months or even years, but during those years, typically, at least the narcissist that I've experienced will move on to someone else. At the same time, try to keep you on the string. Maybe they'll walk away for a few weeks or months, or even longer. I had a narcissist that disappeared, for over a year, and I wondered, what happened to this guy? He doesn't contact me anymore. I think maybe he's mad at me. Just a friend, I wasn't terribly worried about it. I just thought it was kind of odd. Until about 15, 20 years later, I found out that the reason he wasn't contacting me was because he was in jail. Now, I'm not saying that your narcissist has been in jail, but you might want to check out his record just to be sure because you never know. But number 3, I'm guessing that your narcissist is moving from one relationship to another. Number 4 is I think your narcissist probably has very few long-term friends. I mean, people who have been his friend for years. and just very loyal, faithful friends. I could be wrong on this one, because some of the narcissists in my life, very few of them, but one in particular, I thought he was my friend for a very long time because, well, he was just biding his time, waiting for the opportunity to take advantage of me. Now, my history, I'm pushing 70 years old, and over these decades, I've learned a few things, as I mentioned before, and one of the things that I've learned is a narcissist can wait a very long time before they take advantage of somebody. But by and large, I'm predicting that the narcissist in your life is somebody who has very few long-term friends, many short-term friends. Number 5 is, I think your narcissist, if I had a crystal ball here, and I don't, I just have experience, but looking into my imaginary crystal ball, I am imagining that your narcissist can't hold down a job. Yeah, I know a narcissist who was a teacher and held down a job for a very long time. But that was an exception. Most narcissists that I have known, they go from workplace to workplace because they can't be supervised. They cannot have a boss. Nobody can tell them what to do. They don't want to be under the thumb of anybody, even if it's a good boss, even if it's a friendly guy, even if somebody who has the narcissist in their best interest, they still won't be under anyone's authority. They don't like rules. Rules are for fools. They think rules are for everyone else, not them. Rather, they feel entitled. So does that describe your narcissist, this guy, if he has a job at all? Chances are he may just be scamming people for a living. A professional catfisher, But if he does have a job, he goes from job to job. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody is a narcissist. I know people with Asperger's syndrome, people with autism have a very difficult time finding work because of their quirkiness, their eccentricity. But a narcissist, he bounces around from job to job for a different reason, and is that think porky pig here, that is because he just doesn't want anyone telling him what to do, or her. Number 6, does this describe your narcissist? They have no significant other. Now, they may be married, but chances are their marriage doesn't last. So I'm just thinking back on the narcissist in my life. And again, I know a narcissist who has been married for a very, very, very long time. That is because her husband is an empath. And he was married once before and got divorced. And now he is really committed to making this one work. And so he puts up with a lot of crap. But if he were a typical person, normal person, chances are he would have been out of there a long time ago. So there are exceptions. But chances are, if I were to describe your narcissist sight unseen, I would say that person doesn't have a significant other, at least not for any significant time. Number 7, can't sustain any genuine relationship. I mean, friendship, love relationship, work relationship, business relationship, no relationship whatsoever. I know narcissists, they can't, they would go to church, but they can't stay in church for a very long time. They would go to a church and then disappear for weeks, months at a time. Maybe they are in jail, who knows? But typically they would, if they do go to church, they'll bounce around from church to church, just like they bounce around from job to job. Just like they move from house to house. They're very, very, very unstable. So they can't sustain a genuine relationship. They bounce around from person to person. And the reason is, you got to keep this in mind, narcissists fear more than anything else being unmasked. They fear being discovered. They fear that nice guy pretense that they put on to fool people so they can scam them. They fear being unmasked. They fear the real person being found out. And one of the ways they keep the mask up is going from person to person. Soon as somebody starts to see, okay, hang on a second, this is not the real person that I thought he was or she was, they just move on. They clear out as quick as they possibly can. So number 7 is, I'm guessing that your narcissist can't sustain a genuine relationship. Emphasis on genuine. Number 8 is they are always grooming or love bombing someone else. I mean, they always have another person. We call this supply, supply being anything that boosts the ego of the narcissist, inflates his or her ego. So they always have somebody else waiting or that they're working on to, well, replace you or have 2 or 3 or 4 at the same time. Now, some of these guys, they have what is called harems. Some people call them harems. They have several women that they're scamming at once. And some of the guys, they have friends. I don't want to call them a harem, but they have friends that they're scamming at the same time. So they are always grooming, or they're always love bombing somebody somewhere, getting them ready. Maybe ready would be just putting them in a holding pattern for years. That's what one narcissist did to me. I thought he was a friend for a very long time. But when time came for him to take advantage of me, apparently he ran out of other supply. The real person became obvious. So that was number 8. Always grooming someone else. Number 9 is while you were building another relationship, or building a relationship, when you were building a relationship, the narcissist was scamming you. So you thought you had a real friendship, or you thought you had a real romance going on, and you were, like a power couple. You guys just had it going. But then you found out it was all one-sided. It was all you. The narcissist had something totally different in mind, and that was seeing how much he could sap out of you, how much supply he could get out of you. And once he was found out, then it was time for the smear campaign, and he was out of there. So does that describe your narcissist? While you were building that relationship, he or she was stabbing you in the back, figuratively speaking. And number 10, I'm guessing here that your narcissist is an individual who does not want to confront his or her flaws. These people have serious problems. Some of them are flat out criminal. They are devious, and they don't want to confront that. They want to pretend. You remember the story of Narcissist when he was, the Roman legend, I think it was Rome, when he was looking into the water and he saw his reflection, totally ignoring the real person beneath that ultimately the guy drowned, if I remember the story right. That's what your narcissist is doing. I'm guessing. That is my best guess. They don't want to confront who they really are. They want that pretense, that image that they're reflecting or projecting. They want that to be their real image. They know better. They just don't want to confront it. Now we know they know better, because if they really thought that was the real person, they'd be out of there. I mean, they would change immediately. They would do whatever they have to do to stop doing what they do. But they don't. They just keep on going in that same pattern. I like to use the illustration of the railroad train, that little toy railroad train that runs around in circles. Very predictable. You know exactly what he is going to do. So, of those 10, how many did I get right? How many adequately described your narcissist? Well, 10 out of 10 described, I think, at least one of the narcissists in my life. I think maybe 8 out of 10 described another. I think 9 out of 10 described another. I call them narcissists. More accurately, I should say people with narcissistic tendencies or controllers, because if they've not been to a therapist and diagnosed properly as narcissists, well, then we're not talking in clinical terms. We're just saying somebody who is narcissistic, so we call them narcissists. 2 rectangles on the screen. Tell us what you think. By clicking on one of those rectangles, we will continue our conversation, and it'll go on and on and on as long as you want it to, because we have dozens of videos just like this one.